Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Look at the title of this article. AMB Crypto puts out SBI Holdings alliance with Fukushima Bank joins MoneyTap. And I always like hearing about this. You know, when MoneyTap was first announced, it seemed that it was mostly going to utilize domestic rails in Japan pretty much for the way it was initially presented, at least the way I took it after reading articles way back in the day. You know, within the last year, that it was pretty much just going to be a messaging thing. It's actually not the case. So anytime I see MoneyTap news, I actually like it. And I'm going to give you a little refresher before running through this, but this has to do with XRP. So I'm going to run through that, and then I've also got a couple tweets I'd like to share with you from the XRP community, and then I'll wrap up the article with, no, I'm not going to wrap up the article. I'm going to wrap up the video, because this is a video, not an article. I'm going to wrap up the video with this article from Cointelegraph titled, Bitcoin is not real, says former European Central Bank chief. You gotta love people that just don't get things that are just kind of, maybe not obvious on the surface, but if you just research a little bit, it becomes very clear. Like, you gotta love it when people just want to stick their head in the sand when it comes to new technology, but whatever. Before we get going any further, if you would please delicately tap the like button, and consider subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel, because it will make you happy, you will be healthier, and your life will be complete. So that's why you should do that. Now, this article that I cited, I want to give a shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf for sending this my way. Thank you very much, good sir. Before digging into that, though, I'm going to do just a real quick primer here. I pretty much said most of what I wanted to say, so I'm going to be brief on this. But this is an article from Alex Cobb's website, the XRP Daily, and this is from January 31st of this year. And this is titled, SBI Group Confirms MoneyTap Will Leverage XRP. All right, it's early this morning. XRP community member @Dylan tweeted out SBI Group's latest financial report. Within the report, it confirms that the MoneyTap application, which was created by the consortium of 61 banks in Japan, is in fact using a digital asset known as XRP. And then there's the screen grab, and I remember covering this back when this came out, back when I had like 15 subscribers total. Not the good old days. But anyway, so that's why once I figured that out, I was like, oh, MoneyTap, I'm much more interested in hearing about MoneyTap now. So go ahead and check this out. This is the article from today. SBI Holdings Alliance with Fukushima Bank joins MoneyTap. SBI Holdings announced a capital and business alliance with Fukushima Banks Limited as a part of its regional revitalization project. The announcement that came out on November 11th aimed to enhance profitability of regional financial institutions by promoting initiatives to support the operation of these institutions through direct investment from the company or its subsidiaries. And I want to say here, to me, given the direction that they're going in, and if you're talking about the implementation of XRP with MoneyTap, that means that they're thinking on a much bigger scale than what people were initially suspecting back when MoneyTap was originally made public. It's got to be a much more global presence if XRP is indeed intended to be utilized as a bridge currency, specifically through the MoneyTap app. So anyway, the company extended the reach of the project to local economic activities and assisted local customers with their assets and improved productivity of local companies. The notice provided by the company read, quote, based on this business policy, we entered into a capital and business alliance with Shimane Bank Limited in September this year, and this time we have formed a capital and business alliance with Fukushima Bank. We decided to work on improving the corporate value. So, endless numbers of new relationships constantly being born out, thanks to what Ripple is doing to change the way money moves around the world. Anyway, under this partnership, Fukushima Bank will join MoneyTap Co. Limited, along with SBI Neo Financial Services Co. Ltd. and SBI FinTech Incubation Co. Ltd. in order to improve its customer convenience and make it cost-effective. MoneyTap, a consumer-focused blockchain money transfer app, was built by SBI Holdings and Ripple as a joint effort of the SBI Ripple Asia partnership. And that part is key. MoneyTap already homes Shumishin Net Bank and Suruga Bank, along with 28 other banks on its platform. Fukushima Bank might be the 31st on the list and will be serving its customers with Ripple's tech and MoneyTap's remittance services. Now, of course, I love seeing all this developed, and I love that XRP and MoneyTap go together like lamb and tuna fish, or perhaps you prefer analogy, spaghetti and meatball. I think that's from Big Daddy. Adam Sandler movie Big Daddy. Somebody put in the comments below if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where that's from. Anyway, so the truth of the matter is, and so it's cool, this is all getting built out, but we still need actual corridors built out where there are market makers, liquidity providers, so don't expect anything to just happen, snap of the finger like that. Still, progress. The company will be underwriting 5 million common shares at 222 yen per share, which brought the total investment to 1,100 million yen. The SBI, here's a quote, the SBI Regional Bank Value Creation Fund, outsourced by SBI Asset Management Co. Ltd., owns 373,200 shares of Fukushima's bank common stock, which is a 1.63% voting rights ratio as of March 31st, 2019. The total voting rights ratio after the underwriting is scheduled to be 19.25%. So, cool stuff, progress. Take a look at this tweet. This is from somebody named Lance J. on Twitter, who wrote, "Where certain crypto is the emerging present and inevitable future. Where certain XRP is the tech winner in the space. So what is going on? Is it just a waiting game or what? I lean towards hideous manipulation of the market." Which, perfectly fair tweet, that's perfectly fine. The only thing that I would take small issue with is just the idea of when you say XRP is the tech winner in the space. Well, look, obviously, I am Mr. XRP Bull, and XRP is the only cryptocurrency being used in the commercial production of anything. Utility matters, yeah, you hear me say that all the time. But I still don't believe for a moment that XRP will be the only winner, so to call it the tech winner is just a little bit too far, but it's okay, I'm still on board with you, generally speaking here. But Galgatron responded, and he feels very firmly about this. And, just the ideas he has about just the manipulation of the markets, via whales. I haven't really talked about some of his concepts, but he has this, there's a blog here which he linked to. I'm not going to pull it up for this video. It's from about a year and a half ago. It's a good read. I'm kind of thinking it would be worth sharing with all of you sometime. To me, it's very interesting and all the manipulation that's going on, but he feels very strongly about this in the West. So he responded by writing, "If you think it's sentiment, it's whales. If you think it's Ripple, it's whales. If you think it's bad news, it's whales. If you see everything else go up except XRP, it's whales. Don't believe the price." That's fair. To me, I think it's a perfectly fair point of view. You can tell me what you think. I think just maybe it's kind of anecdotal, but just on a daily basis, being on Twitter for almost 2 years now, going through, it seems to me that a lot of people in the XRP community on board with this whole concept of intense whale manipulation, and I'm not. I haven't done intense research on it, to be honest, but I will not at all be surprised if there's a lot of evidence to that point. So I'll just say that for now. But here's the next tweet. This is from XRP community member Ken Melendez, who writes, "We, the XRP community, are exposed to Ripple and XRP news all day, every day. It's important to take a minute to consider just how good we have it and how large the opportunity is ahead of us. It's bigger than many of us think, much bigger." I concur. Yeah, absolutely I concur. There's endless good news pertaining to Ripple and XRP. There are many days where I quite literally cannot reasonably cover, because something has to give in life somewhere. It's like I cannot reasonably cover everything that is put out there, to be perfectly honest. It's either that or I just have to mention everything, and then it wouldn't be substantive though, so then I'm just like, what's the point if I can't actually properly talk about it? But yeah, there's a lot going on. And Ken Melendez, he's the one that's writing a book about XRP, which is going to be available for sale on Amazon second quarter of next year. But yes, indeed, writing an XRP book. And anytime he puts out updates, I'm always happy to share them on the channel. All right, next. "Bitcoin is not real," says former European Central Bank chief. Not insightful, but I find this type of content very interesting. So I think it's fun to run through this. Anyway, Bitcoin lacks the characteristics of a currency and is purely speculative, according to the European Central Bank's former president Jean-Claude Trichet. Chinese news outlet South China Morning Post reported on November 10th that Trichet made remarks at Caixin's conference in Beijing. During the event, Trichet also expressed doubt that cryptocurrencies could ever become the future of money. He said that Bitcoin lacks the characteristics of real currency. And here's a quote. "I am strongly against Bitcoin, and I think we are a little complacent. The currency itself is not real with the characteristics that a currency must have." Says who? Look, Bitcoin, I think that utility matters, and that's what's ultimately going to determine which cryptocurrencies have staying power, but he hasn't even, from an intellectual perspective, got to that point yet. Utility actually matters. And I can understand, if you haven't done research, and actually looked into this, just not understanding why cryptocurrencies will be here forever, that's fine. But it's always funny, and it's just how humans tend to behave, and that's why, I try to not do this. I did for a big chunk of my life, and then I realized it's stupid, is I no longer form opinions if I don't have facts, or I'll say that I believe it's likely so-and-so. But to have strong opinions when you haven't researched this, and you don't know what you're talking about, it just kind of makes you look a fool sometimes. And he's probably a rather smart individual, but he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about here. Now, funny enough, as far as it pertains to the staying power of Bitcoin, he might accidentally be onto something, but he's wrong about the staying power of cryptocurrencies as an asset class. So anyway, Trichet also explained that he believes buying cryptocurrency is, in many respects, just speculation. He also claimed that even when a crypto asset is supposedly backed by a real asset, he still observes a lot of speculation, which he concluded is not healthy. No. Market speculation happens in all sorts of different asset classes. It's perfectly normal, perfectly healthy. Why should that not be a part of this asset class? That's not reasonable. I firmly disagree with that stance right there. And yeah, there's all sorts of speculation, but utility matters. And again, it's just being built out right now, but it's just early days. It's just the people that speak along these lines. It's to me, it's kind of like conceptually similar to those that maybe in the mid '90s thought that there was no promise to the future of the internet because what could you really do it for? People were it was all nefarious activity in the early days. That's what the internet was being used for, and it was slow and nobody had it, and was people really going to use email, and it's all this crap. It's just it's an uninsightful point of view. And that's, to me, when I read this and I hear other people speak along these lines, it's just like some people just don't get it. That's it for this video, though. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!